Thank you. Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate. My name is Shadrack Wamboi. Today, the 10th day of January 2024, I have formally submitted my nomination papers to the office of the Law Society of Kenya as a form of the formal expression of my interest to be a representative of the Nairobi people or the advocates in my capacity as the Nairobi representative. Now, the reason why I find it very fundamental and important that members consider me with humility, consider me as their next Nairobi representative, is because the very heartbeat of legal practice is here in Nairobi. And we need a representative who is assertive, who is bold, and who is fresh to express the interest of the members of the Law Society of Kenya and to advocate and fight fearlessly for the interest and the welfare of the general public. I have, in my own personal capacity and as the chair of the Sheria Mutani, Shadrack Wamboi, been at the forefront in championing for public interest litigation, in ensuring that we call out the government whenever it does anything wrong. So this is a chance or an opportunity that the members of the Law Society have been given. Come the election date, they should consider me favorably, and I ask with humility that they need a firm leader like myself. They need a bold and assertive leader like myself to represent their interest and fight for their welfare. On my part, I have vowed that when I am given that opportunity, we shall ensure, because members of the Law Society have been fighting, quacks, members of the Law Society have been fighting, the diminishing space for legal practice, that when I am given that opportunity, I shall very expeditiously fight for us to advocate for the donation of the prosecutorial powers of the masqueraders and the quacks to the members of the Law Society of Kenya, or the LSK, so that all that initiative or that responsibility is given to us as a society. I know currently that we've been fighting for the space of the judiciary, which is being eaten away. Their independence is being eaten away by an executive that cares less about the independence of the judiciary, cares less about the Bangalore principle, which is an international law or international principles that are supposed to be respected, so that we respect the independence of the judiciary and then we ensure that there is fairness in determination of matters. I know the executive has been trying to cow and intimidate the judiciary, so that the judiciary, when it is determining disputes or issues, looks at the personalities of the people who've been sued or personalities of the people who are filing complaints in court. That is averse, that is at odds with the current constitutional dispensation, because the Constitution perceives of a situation where justice is given without fear or favor, without regard to any status. So that if the executive is on the wrong, the executive must be told, they must be informed that we are living in a 2010 constitution, a post-2010 constitution, that where the welfare or the public interest is safeguarded by our constitutional dispensation. So that should be all for me for now. I ask that the members of the Law Society consider me favorably and elect me as their Nairobi representative. Thank you. That is all from me for now. Asanteni. Oh, young lawyers. Yes, yes. Well, in my own personal capacity, I'm not very old in this profession, but for the few years we've been there, we've been trying to fight and champion for the space of young lawyers in practice. Particularly, we even filed a case against the Judicial Service Commission, where they imposed a 3-year post-admission experience as a condition for one to be shortlisted as a magistrate, which is not a requirement that is set in law. So for that reason, I have been advocating for the space of young lawyers. As a young lawyer, I have also been trying to champion for the welfare of young lawyers. So I ask that young lawyers, this is the time that we put one of ourselves in that position of influence and that position of power, so that they can advocate for our interests and our rights. I mean, even whatever that is happening, the attacks that we are experiencing or seeing from the executive are eating into the space of the young lawyers who are reliant or who depend so much in litigation in court. Because if the the #1 citizen of this country is defying court orders, is saying that his projects are unstoppable, even despising the orders that have been given by the courts. So it means even the common mwananchi will lose confidence in the judiciary, will lose confidence in lawyers, and lawyers will be lacking an assignment, will be lacking work because of the loss of the confidence that the public has towards the judiciary. So it is important that young lawyers have a vibrant, have a bold and assertive and a fresh representative who is going to fight for their space so that the judiciary can be protected, the executive can be reminded that we have a constitution, this constitution needs to be respected, it needs to be upheld. So that is all for me for now. Asante.